Hello friends, welcome to Align Pattern. This section includes computer architecture and organization questions and answers. All questions asked in previous computer architecture and organization exam papers and handpicked from various competitive exams. So let's get started. Question number 1 is the type of information stored in computer words. Answer are data and instructions. As we have known, the core of the computer is the central processing unit, or we can say the CPU, which is the source of control that runs all programs and instructions. In order to function properly, computer uses two types of memory. First one is primary and second one is secondary memory. The main storage is the primary memory and data and programs are stored in secondary memory. Question number 2. Motherboard is also known as. Answer is mainboard. A motherboard, sometimes alternatively known as the mainboard, system board, planner board, logic board, or a MOBO. Question number 3 is an instruction cycle consists of. Answer is fetch, decode, read effective address, and execute. The instruction cycle, which is also known as the fetch, decode, execute cycle, or simply the fetch execute cycle, is the cycle that the central processing unit follows from the boot up until the computer has shut down in order to process instructions. Question number 4 is data processing cycle consists of. Answer is input cycle, output cycle, and processing cycle. Actually, data processing is the method of collecting raw data and translating it into usable information. The data processing cycle consists of series of steps where raw data, that is input, is fed into a process CPU to produce actionable insights, that is the output. Each step is taken in a specific order, but the entire process is repeated in a cyclic manner. The first data processing cycle's output can be stored and fed as the input for the next cycle. Question number 5. CPU of a computer is. Answer is ALU, control unit, and primary memory combined into one. CPU is the main control center and processing unit. AL is responsible for performing the arithmetic operations and making logical decisions. Control unit acts as a supervisor by controlling the operation, and registers are known as the storage location of CPU that holds processing information called register memory during the time of process for temporary time of period. Question number 6 is floppy disk is a memory device used for. Answer is flexible storage or auxiliary memory. Floppy disk or magnetic storage medium used with the late 20th century computers. Very popular from the 1970s until the late 1990s in their use with personal computers to distribute software, transfer data, and create backups. They were supplanted by the increasing use of email attachments and other means to transfer files from computer to computer. Before hard disks became affordable to the general populations, floppy disks were often used to store a computer's operating system. Question number 7 is assembly language. Answer is use alphabetic codes in place of binary numbers used in machine language. An assembly language is a type of low-level programming language that is intended to translate high-level languages into machine language and communicate directly with the computer's hardware. Basically, it is designed to be readable by humans. That's why it is used alphabetic codes in place of binary numbers. Question number 8 is an assembler converts. Answer is the source program to an object program. An assembler is basically a program that converts the assembly language into machine code. It takes the basic commands and operations from assembly code and converts them into binary code that can be recognized by a specific type of processor. Question number 9. A unit that decodes, interrupts each instruction and generates the required enable signal for ALU and other units is called. Answer is control unit. The control unit is a component of a computer's central processing unit that directs the operation of the processor. A control unit typically uses a binary decoder to convert coded instructions into timing and control signals that direct the operation of the other unit such as memory, arithmetic logic unit, and input and output devices. Question number 10. A collection of wire that connects several devices or computer's part is called. Answer is system bus. A system bus is a single computer bus that connects the major component of a computer system, combining the function of data bus to carry information, an address bus to determine where it should be sent or read from, and a control bus to determine its operation. Question number 11. The CPU chip used in the computer system is made up of. The CPU chip used in a computer is partially made out of silicon. Silicon is highly pure, easy to use and cheap semiconductor, perfect for the huge computer chip industry. Silicon is the basic material used to make computers cheap, transistors, silicon diodes and other electronic circuits and switching devices, because its atomic structure makes the element an ideal semiconductor. Question number 12. The central processing unit and memory are located on the. Answer is motherboard. A motherboard is very important part of a computer system. It holds together many components of a computer such as CPU, that is central processing unit, memory and connector for input and output devices. Question number 13 is Fortran is. Answer is high level language. Fortran is a general purpose compile imperative programming language that is specially suited to numeric computation and scientific computing. Question number 14. The sequence of events that takes place in the computer when it is interpreting and executing an instruction is called. Answer is instruction cycle. Basically, the instruction cycle, which is also known as the fetch, decode, execute cycle, or simply we can say the fetch execute cycle, is the cycle that the CPU follows from boot up until the computer has shut down in order to process instructions. Question number 15 is floating point representation used to store. Answer is real integers. Floating point representation is the description of binary numbers in the exponential form. The floating point representation breaks the number into two parts. The left hand side is a sign, fixed point numbers known as the mantissa, and the right hand side of the number is known as the exponent. The floating point representation can implement operations for a high range of value. For example, the number 5600000 can be described as 0.56 into 10 raised to power 7. Here 0.56 is the mantissa and 7 is the value of the exponent. Question number 16. Which unit of CPU performs arithmetic operations such as addition, subtraction, multiplication, division over data received from the memory and compare numbers greater than, equal to or less than? Answer is the arithmetic logic unit, that is the ALU. ALU perform all calculations of computer system. Question number 17. The bidirectional bus in a computer system is. Answer is data bus. Data bus is a bidirectional because data flow in both directions, from microprocessor to memory or input-output devices and from memory or input-output devices to microprocessor. Question number 18. A microprocessor in a microcomputer form its. Answer is CPU. Microcomputer, an electronic device with a microprocessor as its central processing unit, that is its CPU. Microcomputer was formerly a commonly used term for personal computers, particularly any of a class of small digital computers whose CPU is contained on a single integrated semiconductor chip. Question number 19. Which language can be understood directly by CPU? Answer is machine language. Machine language is the language understood by a computer. It is very difficult to understand, but it is the only thing that the computer can work with. Question number 20. In microcomputer organization, the bidirectional bus used. Answer is data bus. Data bus is a bidirectional because the microprocessor can read data from memory or write data to the memory. Eventually, control bus is unidirectional. Hope you practice these questions and prepare well. I wish these MCQs asked again in your exams and you score good marks. All the best. Don't forget to like and subscribe the channel.